everybody, welcome to my plan with me for the week of July 7th through the 13th, which this was the week of Hell is Real, which is the Columbus Crew and Cincinnati rivalry game. So I had to film a video because it was just an exciting week. So I'm using this game on kit from SPC. I did already use this once this year, but there's not really a ton of soccer art. So this is the kit freebie. I won't be using that though because this is Cincinnati's colors. So I'm definitely not gonna use that. But just go ahead and flip through. Everything in this kit is very neutral, which is super, super handy because that way you don't have to worry about your team's colors like not being in it or another team's being in it. So then as far as foil, I did get some stuff from Planet Hannah. So I got these custom quote boxes just with some things that are, or I guess were posted on Crew's socials after and during the game. Same thing with the custom 15 millimeter. And then I got the checker flame underlays in sparkly, or I guess gold stars. This is in the gold hollow waves. And then I'm just going to be using some solids to go under that to make them pop even more. So I will go ahead and put down the base and be back for the day by day. Hey everybody, I probably said that in the intro, but it's been so long since I filmed that I felt like I needed to say it again. So I am finally back with a plan with me. So spoiler, we won. And by we, I mean Columbus. So that's why I had to do this spread. I am so happy with how this turned out. It's stunning. I am hoping that you can still see a good amount of the underlays once I put the boxes down, but we're gonna see. Also, sorry if you can hear Link chewing. He always does this when I film, but I kind of forgot it's been a while. So first thing I am marking is that on Monday morning, I organized my desk and then I was watching Love Island, which, wow, that was a long time ago. So I didn't watch Love Island as it was coming out, but I was watching the newest season. I think it was 7. I was trying to catch up before the finale, but I didn't make it. But I did watch all of it. So that was a several day long process. And then I did forget to include a box for this script. So I'm just going to put it here. Oh no, I think my intention was to put it in the sidebar, but I put other stuff there. Maybe I'll find a box and put it in that box later. So we had a thunderstorm that day, which again, oh my gosh, so that, I know July was a long time ago. It's November, but it just feels like forever ago because I kind of forgot we had so many. We had a drought later in the year here in Missouri. So yeah, it was a very stormy summer though at first. Oh my gosh. I can't put these boxes down anymore. I've been doing some off-camera spreads, but it's a lot less pressure when I'm not filming myself, so we'll see how this goes. And I'm hoping I remember the things, because yeah, this one I did off-camera, but which basically just to, I don't know, address that. I am just going to do a plan with these 4 weeks that I think are notable or I want to do them for, instead of doing them for every single week, which you probably figured I wasn't doing that since it's been a long time since I've posted one. But I don't know if I ever officially said that. I just got so behind it was really overwhelming and it wasn't fun to plan anymore. So I'm kind of getting back to where I'm more current and it's more of a fun thing to do. So I did have pool time that day. Basically, I was playing Dodge the Thunderstorm. So I would either get in the pool before it stormed or I would get in the pool after, because my working out this summer was walking in the pool, like against the way the water was going from the pool pump. So it's really good. It's really helpful for me with my chronic illnesses because it's such a low impact kind of exercise, and I very much miss it. But it is way too cold right now to swim. So did that, and then I watched some TV. I was using these wing stickers. I think I was watching, yeah. So my husband and I were watching Hell of a Boss, and then we were also watching The Good Place. So I thought the wings worked for both of those. Plus, I don't have a reason to need those stickers like a ton of the time. Which also I forgot to mention because I'm not like talking through where everything is from. Most of my icons are from Carly Plans, which I do PR for her. So if you use Laurel 15 or put Laurel in the notes, you will get my freebie from her. And then that is from my shop, Corks and Corgs Co., which I do have linked below. It's on Etsy. And I took a bit of a break on releasing stuff in my shop for a while, unintentionally, just because my health has been a mess this year. But I will be having Black Friday sale and new releases along with Black Friday. So if you have any requests, I'm primarily doing not seasonal stuff. But if you do have any seasonal stuff that you want to request, let me know. And just anything in general. And I will see if I can make it happen, because I am trying to work on some more like basic stuff. Okay, so I did get a box for this. Totally forgot what I was saying before that. But I guess the next thing I did on Monday was I did some planning. I worked on journaling, and then I finished a book, which the book was called All the Things We Never Knew. I'm gonna be real, I don't even remember what it was about, but I did, I guess, give it 3 stars. And I took a note that said it was cute, but it also touched a lot on grief, which is definitely something that is relatable for me, but I just don't remember the book, because I mean, it being 3 stars and me not remembering it, that makes sense. So anyway, on Tuesday, the first thing I marked is that we had thunderstorms, and I was bummed out about it this day because I was going to go to the coffee shop in my area, but I didn't really want to drive in the storms, so I decided against it. But then I had a YouTube binge, and I worked on organizing stickers, which it's wild to think, because other than like organizing post haul, I am mostly done with my sticker reorganizing project that I had been working on for I don't even know how long, of my stickers and reusable sticker books. So I will try to do a video of some sort of that in the near future. It's been requested, but I just have to get my shit organized, and that's the hardest thing, is like cleaning out my office filming desk area to where I'm like okay with it being on camera. So I will definitely try to do that, though. I need to do it anyway. So after that, looks like I finished another book. That one was Death by Dumpling. That was a fun one. I really love cozy mysteries, and I have been reading some different cozy mysteries this year. I have read a few of the Hannah Swenson series, cozy mysteries, but those are fairly, I don't know how old they are, but the series started a long time ago, so there's a ton of them, and I like them. But I read Arsenic and Adobo, which is the first in the Tita Rosie's Kitchen mystery series. That one I love, and honestly, the third book I liked as much as the first one, and then the fourth was actually my favorite so far. There's 5 of them currently, but those are really great. Death by Dumpling I really enjoyed, and That one is a series. I have not read any others in it. I also really enjoyed the Vera Wong ones. I can't remember. I think I've read a couple, and I can't remember if there's more of them. And then most recently, I read Savvy Summers and the Sweet Potato Crimes. So I recommend that one as well if you are into cozy mysteries. I just think it's fun to read ones that have foods from different like cultures, because the ones that have like baking stuff, like they're good. I don't dislike them, but I can't eat any of those baked goods, so it's less of an appeal for me versus like the other stuff, which again, like I don't really cook, but I find it more interesting to hear about recipes that I maybe have never heard of, or I don't know like what goes into them. So yeah, I've really been enjoying those this year. So after that, this day I had some more pool time, watched Love Island. I worked on organizing my books, which I think this might have been the day where I like was doing a re-inventory, but maybe not, because I just said I organized them. And then I had a ton of pain, so just typical day things for me. Also, I'm so sorry if the framing on this is off or anything like camera wise. I feel like I'm like starting YouTube all over again because it's just been such a long time. But Wednesday morning, the first thing I marked was crew things. So, I had a dream about crew for the first time. So I marked that. Oh my gosh. And then I did go to my local coffee shop this day, which is called The Groundabout, which I like the vibe. I really like going there. Their drinks are not like, I feel bad. I think their seasonal drinks are probably really good, but I can't have any of them because I am dairy free, and a lot of them are like just stuff that can't be made dairy free. So I've been getting cold brew or cold brew with like lavender, and that's pretty good, but just their like plain coffee I'm not a big fan of. It is kind of expensive, but when I look at the prices versus like going to Starbucks or those chains, it's really not that much different. So I feel a little bit better about it because I'm supporting a local business. So anyway, it's a fun place to work at, and so I did do some work that day. And then right next to it, there's a little free library. So I did grab a book from that this day. At the time, the little free library was like basically full. So I didn't leave one because I forgot to bring any. But the most recent time I went, it was pretty empty. So I need to bring some books next time I go because I have a box of them that I just don't need anymore. When I got home, I did have pool time again, and then I ordered groceries, and then I did some drawing. So I'm not sure. I'm hoping this wasn't out of focus the whole time, but it looked like it wasn't in focus completely. So this video is a mess. But Thursday, I went to the coffee shop again. I worked on drawing, and then I did a grocery pickup because I had planned it for like around the time that the coffee shop closes. They close at 3 or no, actually 2. So I figured it would be a good time just so I could kind of stay there and work on stuff until then, and then I'd already be in town because I live about 15 minutes from the closest town. So I'm kind of in more rural area, which is what I grew up with. Like my mom still lives more rurally like that. where just like the dollar store is the only thing that's actually in my town. That's like a couple minutes from my house. But anyway, and I watched more Love Island. I had more pool time. I played Dreamlight Valley, which I marked with like Maleficent. So I'm wondering if that was when there was an update or something, or just when I got to a certain part of the story with her. But it's been so long I can't remember, because there's been other updates and new content and stuff. They've been pretty good about updating the game to keep me playing, so go Disney on that. And all the scripts in this spread, I don't think I mentioned, they're all from Planner Face. I got a custom script sheet from her. They're a little bit pricey, but you get to literally design the sheet yourself, and it's a pretty easy process on her site. And then you pick the font and everything. So I just wanted everything to be cohesive for this week, so I figured it would be the easiest way to just have a full custom sheet. So on Friday, I went to Illinois. I'm trying to remember why. Let me look. Okay, so I had some plans with Sarah and Christine this weekend, so that's why I was in Illinois. So I did go to Sarah's. I got Starbucks on my way. And then I went to Sarah's because we had like a friend work day planned. So Sarah is a teacher and Christine works in like media, PR. I feel like I'm not thinking of the right term for it, but she works from home. So Sarah was kind of working on like lesson plans, and then Christine was just doing her normal work, but from Sarah's. And then I was working on some like drawing. I was working on formatting, stuff like that. So yeah, we just had a little work day, and Sarah and I definitely did get distracted, but that's kind of to be expected. But we had a jam sesh, so I didn't mark what we listened to, so I'm not really sure if it was like records or if we were just playing music from Sarah's phone. But then we got Chipotle, and I believe Christine went home after that. And then I was having just a ton of anxiety. I'm not really sure why. I do remember it, and I remember it being really, really bad. I had to take a Spanish lesson on Duolingo to like get my brain to focus on something other than anxiety, because it was just crippling. Like I couldn't really talk about it to Sarah. Like I was trying, but I just like couldn't articulate. So I did that, and it was helpful because basically I needed my entire brain to focus on learning a different language, because that's not easy. So I did that, and then we went to see a local production in my hometown of The Outsiders. So Sarah told me that we read it. I have literally zero memory of reading it in junior high. However, we went to the same school, and we weren't in the same homeroom class, but the curriculum should, in theory, have been the same. So I'm not really sure why I didn't remember it, but like watching the production, I didn't remember a single bit of the story. So that was interesting, but I really enjoyed it. I was trying to finish reading the book before we saw it, but I just wasn't able to get through it before then. I have since finished it, and I really do like it, but I just don't know how I like completely blocked it out of my memory. So that's interesting. I feel like I just skipped over this, but this Thursday evening maybe I said the pool time. I played Dreamlight Valley, which I didn't mark with Maleficent. I guess I just I got this sampler from Carly with this kind of like black gold looking glitter, because to me it looks like the Columbus Crew colors. So yeah, I used that instead. I used as many of the things on the sampler as I could in this spread, which you can probably see. I was trying to make everything match Crew colors for the most part. Obviously my little Love Island stickers don't match, but I just had to. Those I actually created for Valentine's, but somebody mentioned using them for Love Island, and I was like, okay, that's actually perfect. I think it was Christine. So then I ended up doing the same thing. So after we saw The Outsiders, Sarah and I went over to like one of her family members' houses, because she was dog sitting for them. So I got to play with their dogs. One is, I think, a couple years old, and the other one's like a puppy still. So their names are Onyx and Copper. That was fun. They were super sweet. I had a good time. So after we visited them, we went back over to Sarah's, and then I just kind of finished the night by reading. She, I think at the time, was reading a book by Abby Jimenez. I don't remember which one it was, but she was just like in it. And so I was continuing to read The Outsiders while she was doing that. So we were just reading together. And Saturday, we decided that we were going to go to the coffee shop, or I guess one of the local coffee shops in my hometown. I don't know if there's more than one, probably, but we went to one. It's called Common Grounds, and Sarah was reading, and then I was like working on getting up to date in my like journal pages. So I was having fun with that. She did kind of like flip through mine and see what I was doing. And like, she's not a planner girl, but she finds it fascinating. So she was looking through and watching my creative process a little bit. So that was fun. We had a really good time, and they have amazing drinks. They have really good coffee. Their tea is so good. I wish I had somewhere near me to get tea like that. Although, if I'm being real, we do have a few places. I just haven't tried them out yet. So I'm kind of like working my way through different stuff in downtown. There's the town my address is in is the one that's like 15 minutes from me, and then if you go like 5 minutes south of that, there's a college town. So there's a lot of stuff downtown there. I just haven't fully explored it. So I know we have a tea shop. I just need to investigate. So after that, we did go to a local bookstore, and Sarah had never been, and neither had I. So it's like, let's go. Let's see like what they have and stuff. Because we always go to Barnes & Noble, and I'm not saying that I don't still do that, because I definitely do. But we had a good time. I liked it. I got a few books, and so did Sarah. And actually, one of the books I got was like an anthology of short stories that people from the university that I went to had written, but they were like themed after Taylor Swift songs, or like inspired by Taylor Swift songs. So I was just like intrigued. So I picked that up. I do actually need to read through it because I haven't yet. My bookshelf's a little bit of a mess at the moment. But we had fun there, and then we did stop by the grocery store because we needed to get some snacks, because this evening was Hell is Real, and Sarah and Christine were like, hey, let's watch it with you. So that was super fun. I was very excited because my husband likes soccer, but he doesn't like watch it with me, so it was fun to like watch with someone, and they don't really know a ton about it, which of course I didn't until this year, but they were like asking me questions and stuff, and I don't know, it was a good time. They are sports people, they just don't follow soccer. I had forgotten, I just looked at my notes, that when we went to the grocery store, Sarah and I both checked out as separate lanes. So I was wearing my Hell is Real shirt already. I was just like game ready. And the cashier at the store saw it and he was like, "Oh my gosh, you're a Crew fan?" And so I guess he's from Columbus and I think was probably going to the university there in my hometown. That's probably why he lives there. But yeah, we talked about Crew for a little bit. That was super fun. I was like, just the random Crew fans that I have run into. It's been a fun time since I've started following soccer, so love that. And then the next thing I marked was that we had girl dinner because we basically bought a lot of like cracker meat, cheese, snackies type of stuff so we can make our own little versions of charcuterie boards. So we just kind of made plates for ourselves because I don't eat cheese and Christine doesn't eat meat, so it was like we could do our own thing. So next it was game time for Hell is Real. This game was in Cincinnati. I don't remember if I said that, but they played one in Columbus earlier in the season. I believe it was in May, and we tied on that one. But this one was in Cincy, and I am a very intense person. So I was stressed, but yeah, it was a wild game. I wish that I had filmed this sooner because I feel like I'm not going to remember all of the details of it, like in the way that I want to, but it was so good. We came back, don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we were down 2-0, but it could be wrong. I know we were down by 2 points. So we came back and won 4-2, which was amazing. And nothing like having that kind of win in the away stadium because you don't have the same level of support from like the home fans. So it was just really, really meaningful, like in general. And one of our younger players, Taha Habrun, he is, I believe he's still 19 right now, but he scored his first goal for the Crew in that match, which was so exciting, and I'm so proud of him. So it was just, I freaked out. I was like screaming and crying and like all the things throughout the game because, like I said, I'm intense and I don't do anything halfway. But it was just such an exciting moment. And like he grew up in Columbus, so that rivalry has like been something that has been a part of his life since, you know, growing up. So I can only imagine how much more meaningful it was to him. Like, it was super meaningful for the fans, but it was just so exciting to see. And I did get to see Taha in person, like in the stands when I went to Nashville, which I'm not filming that week, but I went to a Crew game in Nashville because the week was terrible, like overall, but it was really cool because I stayed after we lost that match and I saw him in the stands and like his mom like gave him a kiss on the cheek and hugged him, and it was just, I don't know, these are the little things about like going to the games that are just really special, and the reason that I don't leave early even if we do lose. So yeah, that was super cool. But back to Hell is Real. I did mark like everybody that scored a goal. So during this match, Diego Rossi scored our first goal, and then Max Arfston, who is my favorite player, scored the second one. So I was very excited about that. The third goal was an own goal, so I'm sure Cincinnati was really pissed about that because they helped us. And then Taha scored the final goal of the game. So it was just such a good time. It was such a good night. I don't really know how to like properly describe it, but it was so fun. And then I did mark Eiffel Tower because there's 3 of the players, Steven Moreira, I'm trying not to like use their nicknames, Patrick Schulte and Max Arfston. They posted a picture together, which they had posted a like similar picture together after the game I went to in St. Louis, which was my first in-person MLS game. And so I had to mark that because I might insert the picture. We'll see if I like remember. Oh my God, I didn't realize this was gonna, it's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. So Sunday I did go out for brunch with Sarah after doing a bunch of social media scrolling because there's nothing I love more than after a win, seeing all the celebrations and all the posts that players make and everything. And then we went to Home Goods and I bought, I think, a couple Halloween decorations because they had those out at this point. And then I did drive home. There were some thunderstorms, which I think I might have driven through part of, but I think I missed most of them, if I remember correctly. And then I unpacked. I watched Love Island. I got in the pool. We had Taco Bell, and I played Dreamlight Valley. So boring day, but, well, I guess not like completely boring, but just a lot of its typical things once I got home. So as far as Hell is Real, there are a few things. So the TIFO from Cincinnati, which if you don't watch soccer is like a large banner that the fans make and hold up in the fan section. Theirs said, "Your fate is inevitable." And then when we won, they posted on social, "Played the right cards," because they had like cards as the response since we won. So that was a super fun time. And then they also posted on socials, "Thank you for one hell of a night." So that was another thing I had to pull into the spread. And for every soccer game, there is like a man of the match. And I believe that it gets voted on. I'm not 100% sure because I've never been to a Crew game at home, but the game this time was obviously like a huge team effort, so they posted the whole team and they put men of the match, so I put that on there. And then when Taha got his first goal, they posted, if you can see it, Taha ha 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 ha. I don't know if I said the right number of ha's, but they posted that, which I thought was very clever and funny, so had to include that. And then Massive is just like a thing with Columbus Crew, so Massive Club Dub is what was posted as well. So I just had to pull all of that in from the socials. I did print some pictures and put them in my journal, in my Hobonichi, which I'm going to look through because I'm not 100% sure I can show it on camera, but I'm gonna double check and I might show it. I might just have to cover up a couple things, but it was just such a good game. I want the feeling back that I had after this one. Like, it was just so good. I was riding that high for a while. And it's so funny because I had not watched a single soccer game, didn't care about soccer at all at the beginning of the year. And then Domi sucked me in and I was like, okay. And then before MLS season even started, I bought tickets and a jersey. So like it escalated very quickly. To my credit, the Goosebumps jerseys are really cool, but that's still a bit like unhinged behavior, but I am who I am. So I did forget to mention that Sarah bought soccer ice cubes, which was so cool and also really sweet. A soccer ice cube tray, actually, I guess I should say. But she got it, and we have edible glitter that we like to put in drinks. So she was like, okay, I'm gonna make glitter ice. Well, she used the mystery glitters, and I was like, it can't be orange or blue because that's FC Cincinnati's colors. So of course the first one that she tried to make it with, like, she got the water all in there and then put the glitter in and it was orange, so she had to dump it. And then the second one, I think it happened and it was blue, or maybe vice versa. So she tried like 3 times to make this glitter ice, and I think we just ended up with like a white because there wasn't a yellow one. But I really appreciated her dedication to like, okay, we're gonna have this and it's gonna not be the wrong colors. Okay. So I am going to show my journal pages from this. I just had to cover up a few things. So this is what I was talking about with the Your Fate is Inevitable TIFO. So they've got like the playing cards. There's the crew cat, but like it's a skeleton. And then down here is where it says played the right cards, and then it's got the same link at the bottom. So I just thought that was fun and clever, obsessed with it. Got like the starting lineup. There's Max Arfston. We have our French players here. Me with like my glitter and everything. There was that like thanks for one hell of a night. And then some more of the players before, like when they were doing their warm-ups on the field. And the men of the match photo, which was just so fun. And then they did like a locker room celebration photo, so I had to include that. Just some of the celebrations on the field. There's that like ta ha ha ha. And this is what I was marking, like the photo, because that was similar to the photo that if you watched my plan with me from when I went to the game in St. Louis, there was a similar photo to this with those 3. And yeah, then we just got more like celebration photos. So such a fun time. I loved sharing this super fun game with 2 of my best friends. It was just perfect. So if you did watch this all the way through the end, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully much sooner than last time. Bye.